Om Shanti everyone, good evening. Welcome to your spiritual vaccine. The time for you to take your shot, to be cured, to be empowered, to be enlightened, to be brighter than you've ever been. To be brighter than you've ever been. Did you love that video that we just showed? Did you see the words? Can I recommend that whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, Vimeo, just go back and scroll through that. The words were so poignant, so powerful. The only thing that needs to change is us. You know, we say that the world is going through a change and you go, oh my gosh, everything changed so rapidly. No, because something was going on in our consciousness that somehow manifested this reality. It's a collective thing too. This isn't happening to one or two people. This is happening to the entire globe. I was sharing with a friend of ours from Peace Village this morning that it really feels like the Twilight Zone, or, you know, God has just beamed us up to another planet somewhere where it's just different language, different way of relating, a different culture. Beam me up, Scotty. You know, just, or what we said this morning, beam me up, Bubba. You know, it's God, like, I think He's pulling us up, everyone. I think the energy of God is everywhere right now, just trying to pull us up, to pull our thoughts out of, you know, distraction and illusion and anything that wasn't love. We're being pulled up to move away from anything that wasn't love in our life. That means whatever was in my past, if it wasn't love, it wasn't real. And if at this particular moment you're having a love moment, this is one of the most realest times you might have had in the last hour. See, there's this force of love, there's this force of divinity, there's this force of purity and peace that lives inside of us all. And this particular time of quietude and meditation and thoughtfulness, I mean, because of this situation that we're in, spiritual vaccine started. I mean, every day we show up live at 6:30. No pre-recordings. We're just here. And perhaps we're doing it for our own selfish reasons, to keep our minds fresh, to keep our hearts unlimited, to keep the world hopeful. What else are we going to do? We need to navigate through these uncertain times. And as I thought about the title that was offered to me tonight, I was saying to myself, we've often lived through uncertainties. You and I never know when it's our last second to take our breath. You and I will never know if our spouses are cheating on us or being faithful or lying. You and I don't know if there'll be a health crisis in a second. You and I have no idea if we will keep our jobs or lose our jobs. But now, because it's so collective, and we hear 40 million jobs are gone or more by now, we hear conspiracy theories out there, we are observing behaviors that we would hope would have changed by now. I would have just prayed that behaviors where leadership was concerned would have changed. But there's like, just from an observation, it's not a judgment, just an observation, it's like this hasn't impacted them at all. There are certain folks in leadership, it's like, this doesn't affect me, so I don't know what your problem is. But it's affected the whole world. Santosh just told me that America and Russia were leading in cases, right, of the coronavirus, that they had the most cases already or something like that. And you think about that. It's not the way we wanted to compete with each other. We want to compete. We need to compete with each other with our virtues and values. Who's the kindest country? Who's the most loving nation? Who's the most peaceful and most happy country that there could be? I don't think we should have been competing with coronavirus. But today's topic is all about uncertainty and a sense of anxiety. We're not certain about what the future holds. But as I said, we've been there before. And it's going to be up to you and me, all of us, to choose to stop struggling and to move more into the flow. We are the ones that are responsible for our destiny, and we're going to have to find a way to pave our way through. And you can do it. Breathe, think, breathe, think. You'll get the right touchings at the right time. And something that I value more than anything else in the world, talk to friends and people who you can turn to for guidance, and to really value and trust that they have your back. Just by talking to your friends, something will be percolated. Something will come up in your thinking, and you will feel something very profound, very powerful, very powerful. Anyway, I hope you all are well, and you're moving on. You're moving on. I'd be curious if anybody wants to type into the comment list, whether it's on Facebook or Vimeo or YouTube. How are you feeling? Like, are you feeling a little settled by now, or are there just a lot of concerns? Is there a question? Are you able to see into the future? Or is it just like, is there a wall? Can you see beyond this particular period that we're in? You see, there's something about thoughts. Thoughts are energy. And if you and I have the same positive thought at the same time, it's going to create that energy. And if you and I have thoughts of anxiety and fear at the same time, it's going to create that energy. If you and I have thoughts of love and compassion at the same time, it's going to create that energy. It's going to manifest in the world. Someone's going to pick up the vibration. It's going to offer a ripple effect, and someone's going to catch those thoughts. So I'm just curious, how are you feeling? There's nothing wrong if you don't feel so great. There's nothing wrong with it at all. We're going to have some good days, and we're going to have okay days. But always remember the fact that you're breathing and you have another chance. It's a good day. It's the way we interpret how we think it should be that can sometimes give us so much suffering. Sometimes we look at other people and wish we were like them. Now that you're home most of the time, there isn't any competition with dress, car, diamonds, watches, jewelry, hairdo, makeup, how you're going to look. Most people are in their pajamas all day nowadays, I heard. You know, so much of the way we used to compare ourselves with other people to find value doesn't even seem real anymore, right? It was an illusion. It was of no importance whatsoever. So just for a minute, settle. Where are you inside? Have you found the place that's true and pure and simple? A part of you that just doesn't need to show, to pretend, to mask, to push. Has this particular period brought you in to just settle? And from that place of stillness or settling inside, you're finding a flow of something else, maybe what you were really meant to do and be. Paint, sing, pick up an instrument, write poetry, write a song, write a book, write your thoughts, come up with new recipes, cook with joy, play with music, dance like no one's watching. But Sister Gita dances whether you're watching or not. But dance like no one is watching, right? I hope you're okay though. I really do. The fact that you and I and the 7-8 billion of us on the planet, I've lost count, everyone is a soul. That means everyone is living energy. And they can never die, but they can go through changes. Whether it's a change of a body, change of a job, change of a country, change of circumstances. It's not necessarily as such that circumstances are changing us, but is that we were changing and as a result created the circumstances. Have you ever thought of it that way? I don't care what anybody says. You try to blame anyone on this, we're all in this together. We all have a part to play. We have all been a part of the problem, but we're also all a part of the solution. And I think that level of accountability and honesty will help us to navigate through these times of uncertainty. Let me play a video by Sister Jenna on this topic, and I hope you'll enjoy it, and I'll hope to see you soon.
I'm going to say something quite controversial, and I don't mind. I think that, in fact, when you create an external system that you think is going to make life more secure for you or your loved ones, your children, and so on, you're actually inviting violence. I remember a woman in South Africa again during the days of apartheid, and she was a woman of color. She said to me she was given a job in a hotel, and after she'd accepted the job, the hotel manager, at that time in a different colored costume, white, gave her a gun and said to her, "You're going to be walking in the streets at late hours because of the work that you're going to do here. You should keep this for your safety. And she looked at him and she said, I think that's actually going to create the violence that I would rather not have. And she refused to take the gun. He was quite surprised, but he, of course, accepted. And she was fine. She was safe. And so somehow the vibration that I generate, in which I think I'm protected, but in fact it's a signal of great fear. And so it's like a very gross example again, but a dog smells your fear. And so he's more likely to attack you than if you send out a vibration of love, and he'll come close to you and there won't be a problem. And so if I'm thinking that this may happen, that may happen, and the other may happen, which many people are at the moment, I'm told that one of the fastest growing businesses is that of security systems. But if I'm doing all of that, my mind is actually trapped in its own fear and may even be generating more violence. There's another way to do it, and that is to know that if I do that which my inner moral compass is telling me is right, then the goodness of that is going to protect me. And if I also know that the power of love can be my protection, then I'm going to allow the inner awareness of love to generate more and more power, so that that power of love can actually protect me. And can you imagine what a life of a child is if the mother is afraid and keeps saying, bolt the door, do this, do that, don't go out, mustn't go here, mustn't go there? It's like caging the child, putting him in a prison. What sort of adult is that child going to become? Not a very healthy person. And so I think that inner peace, inner sanctuary, that inner protection of goodness and love is the strength that we can all tap into. And that truly is going to be the protection in which I really don't need to be afraid. I don't need to worry about what the future holds. The future totally depends on my present and what's going on at this present moment.
Welcome back, everyone. What a powerful sharing by Sister Genty. She's our International Director of the Brahma Kumaris. And as I had mentioned to you, when you meet so many of the Brahma Kumaris worldwide, you're like, what is it? Each and every one carries something very unique and very special. Santosh just told me, the rally show, we got your message. I think that video answered your question and your thought. Hey, every day, sometimes we're going to go through a little bit of a struggle. Yes, I'm sorry today was a struggle. But sometimes what I've noticed when I'm going through one of my hard moments, and I'm going to invite you to try this technique, see if wherever you are, whatever situation you're in, if there's a thought in your mind that would rather you to be somewhere else, doing something else. And if that thought was there, the reason for your struggle or lack of peace is because of duality in your feelings and thinking. It's not because, it might be a fact that I'm somewhere I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to be here. Then accept that. I don't want to be here, but be present and say, okay, I've got 4 hours left to do this. Let me put the best of who I am into these 4 or 5 hours. And then when the scene changes and you move on to another scene, whether it's taking the metro or getting into your car or getting on your bicycle and going home, then that scene you can practice to be very present in. And then you'll find that the day wasn't a struggle. My struggles have always come from some sort of a desire where I don't want to be where I am. I don't want to have this conversation with this person. I might not want to be with some company, but I'm stuck there. And so after I was able to recognize that that struggle or that turbulence was coming because of some expectation, some desire, I stopped doing it. And if I ever find myself going back there, I go, stop. That's not where you need to be. All right, so let's look at our PowerPoint today and see what we have to just ground ourselves in, just to find out some clues and some answers. So the world says we're in uncertain times, and I think we've been uncertain times in an amplified way since 9/11. It's just been there, right? So we live in a constantly changing and unpredictable world, more now than ever. Yet we have craved and reached for certainty. But the only thing that's certain is that nothing is certain. When I used to race cars, one of the mechanics who used to work on my race cars, he told me, and I always remember the slogan, he says, Jenna, always expect the unexpected. I had no idea that 40 years later, that would have been a pivotal mantra that I have lived by for so many years. Always expect the unexpected. You can't be shocked. You can't be awed. You can't be thrown off your feet. You can't lose your game. You're like, okay. In Raj Yoga teachings, there's a beautiful saying in our advanced classes, call them early, called nothing new. Especially when we all feel that we're putting our best in. And when an event passes and the circumstance finishes and we've gained an experience from it, sometimes it leaves a bitter feeling, sometimes it leaves a great joy. But when we look back at it, despite if it was a happy moment or a bitter moment, didn't you always find that it could have even been better? There could have been room for improvement? So it's important when you consider everything that's happening in our lives, nothing new. Nothing new under the sun. Uncertainty, unemployment, plagues, viruses, harsh leadership, compassionate leadership, love, financial abundance, great relationships, awful relationships, nothing new. And when you stay in that center and you stay in that place, you preserve your inner power. All right, let's move on to the next one. So opportunity is often delivered in a fog of uncertainty. Now we don't really know what to do, right? There's a kind of a fog, a haze over our intellect for some folks. And that fog is sort of telling you to just stay still. And in the stillness, the light will come to open up and release the fog. But it's important that you practice inner stillness. So whether you're someone who enjoys uncertainty, or you're one of those people that get into a beautiful spin of anxiety, Sister Gita, you don't get into anxiety anymore, do you? She's laughing. So you don't get anxiety over anything, huh? No, you don't. So whether you're someone who enjoys uncertainty or gets anxious about it, you have to make a choice. So the recommendation is relax and find a way to utilize your time and energy in such a way that you feel like you're thriving, that something's getting better for you. All right. So if you want to thrive in uncertainty, overcome the anxiety of uncertainty by choosing to stop the struggle. Have you ever thought that you have to choose to end the struggle? Or are you waiting for the outside world and the outside situations to all fall into place for you to no longer struggle? And in the past, isn't it true that everything came into place for you and you still had a problem with someone or something? So don't wait on the outside for the change. Change from within. So overcome the anxiety of choosing to stop the struggle. I think it's really important that we envision how we intend to move forward, which is why I deeply believe in journaling and writing down very specifically and very clearly, how do I see my future here? That doesn't mean that you're seeing it out of a want or a desire, but in your stillness, listen. In your stillness, listen. And that's why I thought it was so important for us to practice deep breaths, release, and just think. Not from fear, not from the unknown, but from being present. When you start to relax, the thoughts that are the most powerful thoughts will start to gradually emerge. So last but not least, feel free to ask for guidance. Talk about how you're feeling. And also, what your vision is. What do you feel your next step is? So many of us have gone on pause, but our energy has been rerouted in a different way. Zoom meetings, Skype meetings, online meetings, videotaping, YouTubes. We never did YouTube live every day. We never did YouTube live on Facebook every day. Now Santosh has started live on Twitter. Today I don't think we have Twitter, right? Okay, so tomorrow we'll have Twitter. He's doing live on Vimeo every day. We never had that every day. And what I think that symbolizes is the quality of the mind, that we're moving towards a stage and perhaps a future of being more telepathic, more thoughtfully sensitive, that the thoughts that I have make a difference. And even though we're now using science to convey our messages, there has to come a time when it's my pure feelings that will convey my message. And I think we're getting prepared for that. I really think the destiny, the drama, the universe is helping us. And we're getting prepared to really create inside of the consciousness, inside of the soul, inside of the personality, a higher way of communication, and not just through technology alone. Yeah. So overcome the anxiety of uncertainty by choosing to stop the struggle, as I said earlier. So once in a while, I'd like you to practice with observing how you feel when you feel powerless, where you don't feel like you have control over the circumstance or the situation that you find yourself in. And then let go the idea, the feeling of the struggle, and start to dream. Start to dream how it will be. So experiment with how life feels when it would just flow for you. So you have to stop the struggle and flow. You have to stop the struggle and flow. So experiment the flow, opens up your heart. The struggle closes your heart. And what we need now, more than anything else, is the energy of love. Envision how you intend to move forward. Write it down. Put it up on pieces of paper. See, this is where I would love to be right now. On the Atlantic. What do you call that thing? Or that board? She's like surfing on the board. I have no idea what that's called, but I think it's waterboarding or something. So don't just accept that things are different and there's uncertainty. But like in Alcoholics Anonymous, in order for anyone to move forward and to overcome alcoholism, they have to accept, I'm an alcoholic. So similarly, it is imperative for you to accept this is hard, this is difficult, but I will embrace this because I have a vision of something better for me. This helps a lot, especially if you have someone in the house with a wonderful sense of humor. But if you don't have anyone in the house and you live alone, please, every day, laugh out loud. There's nothing more we can do, right? Laugh out loud. Find something of humor, clean humor, something that shifts your endorphins and moves your internal being and your cells and your brain and your everything inside of you. Just laugh, find humor. Even find humor in what you're doing throughout the day. If you watch your activities throughout the day, how often did you leave either your bedroom or your living room just to go and look in the fridge and didn't take anything out? How often did you do that today? How often did you just walk in the kitchen, picked up this, went back, sat down, walked here, walked there? What was getting done? It's just the soul is like going, I just want to do something, right? So find a way to really have a good laugh and find your joy, not because of the situation outside of you, but because of the power of the faith and belief and love that's inside of you. Breathe. Think. Breathe. Think. Breath is vital. It's connected to thoughts. The quality of thoughts determine the way I breathe. When someone's scared, when someone has exerted a lot of energy with their body, they look for breath because they've spent so much energy, right? When someone is in love, there's calm. It's like a receiving energy. When someone's at peace, it's very settled. So the kind of breath you want to keep practicing is a breath that has a connection to thoughts that are based on your treasures, love and peace and purity and joy and wisdom. It's like it's got God in it. It's like the God energy is working through you, and He's just amplifying the way you're feeling about yourself. And when you start to feel more grateful, and you start to feel the energy of what we always call Baba, when you start to feel the energy of God more and more in you, inside of you, you don't have any fear about how uncertain things are. You're going to make it work, because that's what souls do who have a lot of inner power. They find a way to make things work. And through that attitude, you will attract people who will also want to be with you, because your spirit is optimistic and you add something to their story and they add something to your story. So both of you are growing and both of you are moving. You will find the right person to support your vision, and the right person will find you to support their vision. We're here collectively to work together, not to compete anymore, not to try to be better than the other person, to just be the best of you. And that's why this whole thing is so amazing. So ask for guidance and talk to someone that you feel very comfortable with and who you know will definitely support you, okay? I think that is such a vital step in helping us to overcome any experience of just doubt or uncertainty, anything of that nature. So I hope that these thoughts helped you a little bit just to navigate through these particular times. I don't want to talk to you about, really serious or, kind of make you feel like, no, it's the real truth. And the real story is that we're going to all have to change. There's a lot inside of us, and we haven't been using it as much. And it's time for us to really make a change. So I hope you enjoyed that little PowerPoint. Thanks to Geet, that also helped me in India to put that one together for all of you today. So it's been great. Any thoughts? Any feelings? Any questions that you might have? Because I thought it would be great for us to do a meditation together, because, you know, we need to settle in more, settle in more. I loved our Monday night meditations. Those are actually becoming my favorite nights, so to speak. So are there any thoughts that you might have? Any questions that you might have? I can go on to any aspect here. Is this helpful to all of you? Has this been okay? Simple? Easy? Hi, Yvette from Puerto Rico. So nice to have you on. Om Shanti. Phyllis, so nice to have you. I hope Betty Brown must have told you about the programs, the spiritual vaccines. Vashti, yesterday we held a meditation for your friend's father who had passed away. So I hope she was able to feel that and see that. So tell her to hold on tight. Don't feel too upset about the changes. Any other questions? No questions on Facebook. Okay, great. So I think all of this must have answered your question. L.A. Frost, thank you. Just so lovely to listen and absorb and share in this community. Lovely. I just believe we just need to be so simple, so genuine. I know there are a lot of folks out there that have a tremendous amount of resources, you know, and I know they sell things, and I know they inspire folks, and I think it's great. But I just wish us to just stay truthful, because this is about sustaining truth. And when you live a life of truth, despite whatever happens externally, you don't give up your principles, you don't give up the way you've lived, you continue. And it might seem quite subtle and sort of invisible to the eye, because it's not forcing its way into you. It's gently inviting you to think, if you're willing to accept this invitation of deep self-transformation, and to be able to change very gently so that you can become the best version of yourself. Thank you, Raleigh. So it was good. That was amazing energy of love. Beautiful.
Is it a question about guidance?
Yes, I offered that, I think, earlier on. Om Shanti, yes, V. Glad that you can join us. Now you're going to be able to. Is this Brother Hemant from New Jersey? Om Shanti, nice to have you. Good to see you here. Oi, Om Shanti, nice to see you. Been a long time. Nicole, lovely to have you. I will tell you more about the See Good live event that's coming up pretty soon. And Angela, always warm to know that you're in the vortex of this beautiful space in the world, because this will be the future where there's a lot of positivity and pure vibrations. I believe that there will be a future world that we can definitely look forward to. Just imagine, right? Imagine if 75% of the world were to now relocate to another planet. Do you think there'd be peace on the planet? Or imagine if those 75% of the people on the planet made deep internal changes and came to an awakening. And just realized that being unkind and selfish and fear-driven isn't real. And it isn't the way to live. And that maybe this is our time to feel God pulling us to become what He made us in. The personality of compassion, humility, kindness, joyfulness, love, wisdom. And I just feel God right now so much. No religion, just God, the ocean of love. I hope you are too. It's been a personality we've left out of the story a lot. And through this time of reflection and this time of silence and this time of resetting ourselves, we will get to a place inside where there is an abundance of power that we haven't been tapping into because we were using the surfaced form of power, the bodily forms of identification. And now, your identification and value and worth is that your soul is so pure and powerful and beautiful that even God won't leave you alone. That He just wants to use you so that you can bring that energy onto the planet more and more. All right, so I think we'll end here with a meditation, Santosh. Yes? All right. So remember, if you ever need anything or any thoughts or any ideas, just email us and we'll be happy to support your thoughts and feelings. From experience, maybe what I said in one of the slides tonight, in your breath, keep thinking. Not thinking fast, just, it's like you're looking at yourself, you know, not out of judgment, but as an observer. And you're saying, are you okay? Are you good? And each time you go in, you keep asking, you okay? Each time you go in, you keep asking, you okay? You good? And the first thought will be the truthful one. And from that place, invite the energy of God's presence to make you even better. It's very gentle. It's very quiet. It's very pure. And don't think about giving anything up. Just keep taking everything good in. And eventually, what's not been good for you will leave you. That's the easy way. So don't put yourself through any unnecessary challenges and trials. The world is doing what it needs to do, and yes, we're a part of it, and we're all in it together, and it's a collective energy. It's just that now, create a new version of yourself. And put aside all those delusional ways that you think you need it to be to match up to the world. The world will not be the same when we get out of this. The music industry will not be the same. The movie industry will not be the same. Technology companies will not be the same. Restaurants, pubs, nightclubs, none of it will be the same. Education will not be the same. They're now trying court cases over Zoom. Nothing will be the same. Reinvent yourself. Experiment. It's a wonderful time to do that. Okay. So let's do a lovely moment of meditation together and let go of the old version of you. Let go of your old ideas about God, about yourself, about your loved ones, about religion, about government, about countries. Let them go. Forget them. Why don't we try to get to the base principle and value of what they originally represent? And it will always come from a soul level. The more you are soul aware, which carries all these wonderful qualities, the more happier you'll be. That's the reason why the soul is in our bodies. We as a living soul sitting in the body is to celebrate. And we just don't celebrate because I'm still holding on to experiences and emotions of the past that are still traveling with me. So breathe. Think. Breathe. And think. Just let it go. Enjoy this meditation. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you? And who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you. And you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time. Have a wonderful evening. Eat well. Turn in early so you can wake up early. There's a saying, the early bird catches the worm, even though we're vegetarians. But if I could present a magic ball in front of me now and tell you that you're going to be okay, I hope that you'll be able to trust that. Just take care of your inner world and bring the energy of God's loving light that you had in the video, just the loving presence of this vibration of soft, gentle love that will give you the capacity to forgive, to let go of anxiety and fear, and just threaten you and just say, I'll make it. I'll be okay. Keep talking to yourself like this. Om Shanti. Have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's discussion is on why am I here? It's going to be a discussion on purpose and living a life of purpose and what that actually means. So look forward to that one, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.